US seeks support of allies to impose sanctions on China over possible military support to Russia, while Taiwan sees second day of air incursions from China after the US clears arms sales to Taiwan. US makes a push to seek support from close allies to impose sanctions on China if it provides military support to Russia. As per media reports, the consultations at present are being led by the US at the level of the G7. So far, the Treasury Department responsible for overseeing and implementing sanctions has declined to comment. At present, Washington and its allies have raised the possibility of China providing military assistance to Russia without sharing any evidence in the public. Earlier similar concerns were also flagged by the US President Joe Biden's meeting with President Xi Jinping. To back up its claim, Washington insists it is sharing detailed accounts of intelligence to allies substantiating its claims on China's possible military support to Ukraine. US is also expected to raise this with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Friday as he visits Washington. Reports also suggest that at the point, countries like South Korea and Germany may be reluctant towards alienating China. In another development, in South China Sea, where tensions continue to rise between the US and China over Taiwan, China has reportedly carried out a second air incursion for the second straight day. The development comes at a time when the US has agreed to $619 million arms sales to Taiwan, primarily in form of different air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles for Taiwan's F-16 fleet. China's air incursions in Taiwan's air identification zone comprise 17 J-10 and 4 J-16 fighters. The J-10s reportedly flew closer to the Chinese coast, while J-16 flew northeast of the Taiwan-controlled Patas Islands. As tensions continue to rise in different areas between China and the US, what do these two developments mean for international security? First, the decision by the US to impose sanctions on China in case of military supplies to Russia suggests the United States' higher degree of intention to deter China. Second, the US has hinted at imposing sanctions on Chinese companies, helping Russia evade sanctions at present. Third, the sanctions could also come as a tit-for-tat response to China's move to impose sanctions on US defense manufacturers. It is important to remember, neither US defense companies sell to China, nor it is the first time China has decided to impose sanctions on US defense manufacturers. Fourth, in our previous dispatch, we told you Ukraine so far has not seen evidence of China providing military equipment to Russia until now, despite Russia and China's no-limits partnership ever since the start of the Russia-Ukraine war. And lastly, the ongoing escalation of tensions in the South China Sea over Taiwan indicates a possibility that US and China can engage in proxy conflicts elsewhere, including Ukraine. So far, China has floated a 12-point peace plan, which Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has partially shown interest in. Any possible sanctions over China can also affect its diplomatic efforts for peace or cessation of hostilities between Russia and Ukraine, and contribute to additional reasons for rising tensions between the US and China. I'm Usama Nizamani, and this was your Daily Dispatch.